Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's Critical and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Bedrock Edition. We're here at spawn once again, and I just want to show you guys that, ooh, somebody's hiding off in the building over there. I can see a name tag. But I just want to show you guys this. Austin has been working on repairing this tower, or not repairing, what's the word? Renovating this tower here to kind of match the rest of the castle that they've done. And of course, last episode we built a little bridge up there. Let me head over this way a bit so you guys can see that. I'm riding around this horse because this is a great horse. It's super fast and it can jump really high, so I'm loving it. But yeah, look at this. We got that bridge that we built last episode. He's renovating the tower, so this place is looking pretty good. But I wanted to try something a little out today that, what I just said made no sense, but I wanted to try something. We've got these little towers on our castle over here, and we've got this one here, and it got me thinking. I was like, it'd be fun to build another one of those, because I kind of want to build something small, but I don't want to build a full castle. So over here, on this island that I talked last episode about having to renovate this island still and kind of get this whole thing fixed up, I thought something that might be kind of fun is to bulk it up a little bit, bring it out this way just a touch more, and then do one of those towers similar to the ones that we've built over there, but have it be kind of ruined, so it's like kind of falling apart. Kind of it'll match the ruins that Austin's built up on the mountain over there. But maybe it's just up against the water. Or maybe it's not even completely ruined. Maybe it's just been beaten up by the waves and stuff and such. And maybe we can build a shipwreck over there at some point. I'm not sure. But I thought that'd be kind of a fun thing to throw in. So I think that's what we're going to try. And basically what I want to do is the build that they've got going on here and my castle over here are very similar in style. They're pretty much the same block palette, I believe. I think the only difference is I think they're using cobblestone instead of stone brick over on their base. So I kind of want to keep it about this style because I think it'll work pretty well. I'm going to incorporate some cobblestone in it too, though, so it kind of looks like it's part of both of our builds. But I'm going to head off and try to repair that island a bit. See if I can get it bulked up a little bit, enough to fit one of these towers on it, because I believe these towers are about 12 blocks wide. And then after that, we will get to working on building one of those. Should be pretty fun. Alright, so it's a little dark out, but I want to give you guys a little bit of a progress update. He saw me. I want to give you guys a little bit of a progress update on how we're going here. So as you can see, I'm working on filling in the extra space. The sand is all that's actually done. As a matter of fact, this is too much sand there. The sand's the only part that's actually done. I did a 2 wide little beach here going around the entire island here. And then we're going to fill all this in with grass, and this is actually going to come up to this level. So there will kind of be this bit of a raised terrain here. But we should have more than enough room to do the tower either over here or right here. And I think what I'm actually going to do is I might build it kind of very close to the edge of this island, kind of falling into the ocean, as if the island has eroded away a little bit and perhaps the castle slipped off into the water, and that's why it's been abandoned. I think that would look pretty cool. And it'll also give us a lot of room to, I maybe want to do like a shipwrecked over here or some stuff like that. And then I want to do some palm trees around as well. But today we're just focusing on the actual tower. We'll get around to that other stuff later. As you can see, there's the lighthouse for the harbor over there. And we can actually see the built ship that Trent built the frame for and I built the sails for a while back. So that looks pretty cool over there as well. And perhaps, I don't know, but you're probably going to be able to see this if you're standing on the boat. Since we can see that from here, you can probably see this from there. So that'll look pretty cool. But yeah, so I'm going to get to work on finishing up this island, and then we will pop back in when I'm ready to actually start building some stuff. Okay, so I'm not quite ready to start building just yet. I got to get a couple more materials, but I just want to show you guys this. I finished up the island for the most part. So as you can see here, I've raised it all up as I was talking about, and I've done this kind of like extra bit of sand on the edge here as if the waves are kind of washing this up. I think the island is pretty much done as far as how I want it to go. I'm going to put the tower here and have a lot of it sliding off right here. I decided to put it over here instead of over here. I think right here I want to do a small hill, raise this up just a little bit. That was weird. Because basically, I don't want to put a bridge here. I want it to kind of look like maybe this island used to actually be connected to this bit of land here, and that the ocean kind of cut its way through. And I think to sell that a little bit, I want to have it look like maybe this is part of the same hill that's right there. So we'll have it raised up over here as it is here, and we'll leave this flat in this direction, just like this is right here. And I think that would look pretty cool. And I might honestly Again, this is all stuff for next episode. I think we're going to come back here and do some of the like landscaping next episode. But I might fill this in just a little bit to make this a little more shallow. Like instead of it being like 7 or 8 blocks like it is right here, maybe raise it up so it's only 3 or 4 to really sell that kind of carved out look that I want to get here. But there's one other thing we need to talk about, and that is I wanted to go take a look up on the hill over here, because there's one thing we need to be careful of, and that is I don't want it to look older than the ruins that are already up here. So I kind of want this to basically give you an idea of what you're approaching as you approach spawn from that direction. So we've kind of got Austin and Trent and Zach's little castle that they've got going on here. Theirs is all inside the mountain and stuff. And then we've got mine over there that's not in the mountain, but basically the same materials. We already talked about all that stuff. But I want to also do the ruins because there's a large part of spawn up here is these ruins that are kind of in between the harbor and spawn. But I don't want the tower that we're building to look older than these. So if we head up here real quick, I'll show you. These are all completely made out of cracked stone brick, so I don't want to use any cracked stone brick, I don't think, or if I do, I want to use it very scarcely. And as you can see, there's lots of like holes, and this is basically completely destroyed. This looks like it either burned to the ground or that it's like a couple 100 years old. Whereas I want mine to look a lot more recent than this, like maybe it was still in use within the last couple of years, but maybe just the water erosion is really what caused it to fail, and that's why we had to abandon it. So I don't want it to look as ruined as I do destroyed. But I wanted to head over here as well because I wanted to see what this looked like. I forgot that I never finished this hill. I wanted to see what this looked like from over here, if you can see it. You can't quite see it. I don't think you're going to be able to see that hill just a little bit. But I think the actual tower is going to be just out of view, unfortunately. Perhaps if we ever build anything over here, you can probably see from the lighthouse, though. Let's see. Wow, there's a lot of holes under this lighthouse. That's not structurally sound at all. That thing's going to fall into the ocean. Oh, yeah, you can definitely see it from the lighthouse, from the kind of back porch of the lighthouse. That's going to look really cool. And if we ever build anything there, I'll probably honestly just do more trees and stuff there, but you'll be able to see all of that from here, which I think will look pretty cool. But as I said, I have a few more materials to gather, so I'm going to work on doing that, and then we will get building in the next clip. Okay, so I've added this little hill in here, as you can see, and I think that looks pretty good. And I've also gotten the outline in place for our actual tower that we're going to be building. And as you can see here, this is how much of it's going to kind of be sliding off into the ocean. I don't think I'm going to mess with any of this terrain here because I'd have to mess with it all the way down to the ocean floor, and that's too much, so I'm not going to mess with that. I'm not going to be able to hit that guy. But what I think we're going to do, because like I said, I want to kind of mix our two bases. So I think we're going to have the bulk of the building be on a cobblestone like their castle is. And then for the detailing parts, I'm going to use stone brick as kind of like this. Well, the only problem with that is this is darker. So it actually probably makes more sense aesthetically to have this here. Okay, I'm changing what I just said. We're going to make the bulk of the tower be stone brick, cobblestone on the outside, and then I think surrounding the door, the windows, and kind of the top mantle of the thing, I think we're going to use andesite. Because that's what we've done on both of our bases, is we've kind of outlined everything in andesite, so I think that's what we're going to do with that. But as for height, I don't want to go too tall. I definitely don't want to go above that. I think I want to go 12. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. How does that look? Let's jump down here and see. I think that's pretty good. And again, I definitely don't want to go above that. I don't want it to look too much taller than this. I think this is a pretty good height. So I think that's what we're going to stick with. It will, of course, stick up a couple extra blocks with the andesite on the top, kind of surrounding it, but I think that's fine. And I think we're going to do the door right here. Right on this point. I might actually lift it up by a block and see how that looks. There's Austin. He's just hopped on. But yeah, so I'm going to work on getting, I think, just like the outline of this in place, because I obviously have to build the part where it's kind of sinking down into here, so that's going to take me a little while to figure out exactly what I want to do with that. So I'm going to get the outline in place, and then we'll hop back in together and work on the detailing stuff in just a bit. All right, so I've got this kind of worked out, how I want the shape of this thing to look. So as you can see here, we've got the kind of fix-up side up here, and then as it gets here, it kind of starts to sink down, and then it's fully collapsed down into the water over here. And I think I'll probably replace some of this with stone brick and stuff, or maybe some wood or something in here, maybe some planks. But I really want to leave a lot of this water and stuff in here as if it's flooded in when the building collapsed. And as you can see, I haven't done this in any sort of smooth way. I'm trying to remember here that, when a wood structure or something like that collapses, it's going to hang on to itself a little bit because of the way that it's built. It's going to try to keep itself together, and it might bend or pull things down with it. Whereas when you're looking at a stone structure as it collapses, you're going to end up with more kind of just splits all the way down with large chunks falling off. You can think of like a mountain or a cliff that's on the edge of the ocean. When large chunks of that fall off, it's like pretty much a huge slab that you'll just see slide straight off into the ocean. And I'm trying to catch that look here and not have this look like it's curving down. I really want it to look like it's actually slipped off and that these have fallen down into the water, and I think it looks pretty cool. Now, as for the detailing on the outside of this building, I've only done 3 windows, so we don't have too much to worry about. But we do have a little bit of something, because on Austin and Trent's building, they've done kind of... they've done a lot of this, where it's like these pillars almost of andesite. And on my building, I've done a lot of this, where I've got kind of built up at the bottom and then built up at the top. So we have to find a balance between the two of those for this to work the way that I want it to. And I think what we're going to do here, I want to try something. I want to see how these would look going up, because this would kind of keep the curve of the building. It would also widen it a bit more, and their tower's a lot wider than mine, so that might look great. Okay, if we do that, right, we have that pillar look that they've got going. But then, down here, I break it up just a little bit. I get rid of some of that. And then we start doing what I do on my tower, which is I have these things here. And honestly, I don't know that I want this much detailing on this. I might stick with full, well, put a little bit of detailing in there. The cobble is weird. It's a little strange with the stone brick, but I think we can make it work. I think we can find a way to make this work. Let's try this as well, where if we're going to do 3 there, we can try something like that. I don't quite like that. I'm basically just trying to find a balance between our 2 build styles. I think for now, I might do that there and just leave that for a bit, or even, it's a little too much detail. I also don't want this super over detailed, because it's going to stick out in comparison to the other areas. So I'm trying to find a balance between that as well. Let's try doing that for now. No, that's weird. I don't like that either. I'm going to have to screw around with this a bit, because I'm not entirely sure what I want to do. But let's say, for example, that we have this go all the way around. This is also really good, because this is going to be very easy for us to carry down into the water. We won't have to worry too much about that. So we'll have those go all the way up. We'll work out some sort of kind of staircasing thing here that'll mix our 2 styles very well. I also think that does a much better job now of mixing the stone brick with the cobblestone, now that there's so many of those in place. And I think that's going to look pretty good. And then, as I said, around these kind of door frames here and around these windows over here, we'll do the andesite, and we'll do the andesite around the top as well. And I think once that's in place, these are going to look really good together, these 3 building blocks. I think we're going to get something here. But I'm going to work out these pillars and kind of some of this detailing, and then I'll bring you guys back in when we're going to start in the windows. But I want to really work this out and see how I can get this working good. Alright, so I did a lot more work than I was planning on doing off camera, but I realized this episode was running on really, really long, so I wanted to go ahead and get this kind of worked out, and there wasn't too much left to do after I got those pillars in place. So as you can see here, this is finished up. This is what I'm going to do for this. I think this looks really cool. So as you can see, I've poked some holes in it. I've got the pillars in that we were talking about, and I've built up around the bottom. I kept it really, really simple. As I said, I didn't want to go too extreme. And I tried about, there's still some blocks here. I tried about 3 or 4 different window designs for this, and I could not get the andesite to look good. I just couldn't do it. So I ended up changing this to be cobble as well. So yeah, you know, I would have liked to get some andesite in up here, but I just don't think I don't think this is big enough for it to quite look good. And then what I decided to do up top, instead of having the andesite up here, because I was like, there's no roof here. What happened to all of that? I was like, you know what? Let's have it look like the top of the building fell off into the ocean after everything collapsed. So you can see everything kind of collapsed here, and then it's like the top of the building just slid off and then landed down in the ocean. And I've thrown a bunch of these bubble columns and stuff in. And as well, at night, it's a little hard to see, so I went down here and I threw in some shroom lights down here as well, just to give it a bit more light than it would have had with the magma blocks. But yeah, I think this looks really, really cool. And I think we're good here for the most part as far as the tower goes. One thing that I'd like to do is I've got these huge crossbows over on my castle. I'd like to do one of those here. I'd like to do a crossbow down in the water here, maybe over to this side, like it tipped over and fell into the water. But I'll have to figure out a design for that looks good broken, so you can still tell what it is while having it look destroyed. So I'm going to have to figure all that out. But as I said, this episode's running on really long, so I think that's going to have to do it for this one. I think in the next episode, as I said, we'll work on shallowing this up a bit. I want to add in some palm trees. I don't want them to be straight up palm trees. I just want to come up with a design here that looks good with what we've got going on at spawn, but also is a little more beachfronty. And then eventually over here, I think I'd like to have a shipwreck kind of crashed here. Not all the way on the island, but kind of tipped over to the side and then leaning off this way, I think would look pretty cool. And I want to go with similar to the size boat that we have over there, but maybe just a little bit scaled down so it looks good over here. But I think that'd be pretty cool to have like a hull of a ship here with like the sails tipped over, floating against the water and stuff. I think all that would look pretty cool. And maybe we can bury some treasure here or something as well. Might look pretty neat. But all of that's going to be done in the next episode, so stay tuned for that. If you've enjoyed this one, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content. Got a lot of, hopefully, a lot more videos that we'll be doing here, so I hope you guys are enjoying. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.